Attention citizens. An extreme auditory hazard has been confirmed in multiple locations. If you are viewing this, your location has been marked as a potential active zone for an anomaly known as the hollow choir. This public safety guide will provide identification guide, known recognizable characteristics of the anomaly. Prevention, recommended actions to avoid exposure. Signs of a nearby manifestation of the anomaly. Survival protocol, actions to take if an encounter occurs. Failure consequences, the effects of prolonged exposure and the risks of non-compliance. For your safety and the safety of those around you, carefully follow all instructions provided. Known identifying features include eyeless sockets, black and hollow. Unnaturally elongated limbs and necks. Mouths constantly open, producing no visible movement. A layered, overlapping song, often mistaken for distant radio static. To avoid direct exposure, follow these protocols. Auditory contact with the hollow choir must not exceed 15 seconds. Prolonged exposure leads to irreversible effects. Do not attempt to record or reproduce the signal. Cease listening immediately if you notice an unfamiliar, wordless melody emerging from nowhere. Avoid areas where time feels slow or where the air seems unnaturally heavy. These are precursors to a manifestation. Do not approach lone figures standing in formation. Distance is your only defense. If the sound persists even after leaving the area, do not stop moving. Stagnation invites assimilation. Common warning signs of a nearby manifestation include a sudden, inexplicable urge to hum or vocalize. Surroundings seem to soften, as though reality itself is wavering. A strange sensation, as if your own thoughts are beginning to echo. The overwhelming certainty that you are not alone, even when no one is there. If any of these occur, evacuate the area immediately. Avoid contact to the greatest extent possible, but if you do encounter them, take the following actions. Avert your gaze immediately. Direct visual contact increases auditory hallucinations. Do not speak, hum, or attempt to mimic the sound. This invites the transmission into your mind. Cover your ears. The human brain will attempt to fill in missing sounds. This is part of the assimilation process. Seek shelter in a silent, enclosed environment. Their static transmission increases in open spaces. If symptoms appear, isolate the affected individual immediately. Do not engage if their voice has begun distorting. If someone begins to hum, echo, or repeat transmissions involuntarily, they are already compromised. Individuals who exceed safe listening time will begin to experience distortions, progressing in 3 stages. Stage 1, disorientation. Words become sluggish. Victims report hearing themselves twice. Increased sensitivity to sound, as if everything is too clear, too close. Stage 2, vocal fragmentation. Speech becomes unstable, breaking into static and echoes. Words may loop or cut off abruptly, as if the voice is trapped in a failing transmission, growing increasingly difficult to control. Stage 3, full assimilation. The victim's voice ceases to belong to them. They begin repeating the transmission in sync with the hollow choir. The distortion spreads beyond speech. Footsteps, breathing, and even thoughts may begin to echo. In the final moments, the victim will stop moving entirely. They stand, mouth open, song continuing. At this point, recovery is impossible. Some victims have been observed vanishing entirely, leaving only an audible hum where they stood. Others remain, joining the hollow choir as new transmitters of the anomaly. Report all auditory anomalies to local authorities. Maintain caution. Preserve yourself.